Good morning, gang. This morning I want to talk about Congress and its 7 to 10 or 12% approval rating constantly, and why that actually is. And maybe some of you won't even, understand what I'm saying at first, but everybody who grew up with siblings knows that you had little things on each other, where if one of them told on this, well, you'd get told on that. Well, that's exactly what's been happening in DC for generations, really. And I hate to do this to you, Maha, but Maha was a Lebanese refugee that came here, and we kind of briefly dated, not really if you want to call it dating, but in the 90s. And she and I got into it about politics because she was a big Reagan fan. But I wasn't. Even way back then, I didn't like him at all. I kind of thought he was a devil. And when we got into this argument, her reason for liking him was because he gave $400 million. I'm sorry. He accepted a deal, $400 million from Hezbollah. And when that money was taken and those weapons could not be delivered because it was illegal to do it, well, guess what? You just pissed off an entire terrorist organization that we viewed. In their view, they wouldn't see themselves that way. But you took $400 million from them and you didn't give them what they were supposed to get because it was illegal. But then you didn't take your charge and you didn't accept the reality that you broke the law, that you negotiated with another foreign country a deal that ultimately cost us 241 lives. Marines, unarmed and put there for peacekeeping mission, blown up in a building because that $400 million was never given back until the Obama administration, who all of you conservative people were like, oh, he gave all those pallets of money to Iran. Yes, $400 million for that many years after arbitration has ruled in the favor of Iran, adding interest constant to $400 million. And you sat there and let it grow until my letter to Obama and Powell telling them this story was realized and somebody did something about it. They gave them back the money with the interest. Yes, that's what those pallets were. Because DC covers for itself because, if you did this, I'm going to tell on you for doing that. Or if you're going to tell on me for this, I'm going to tell on you for doing that. Those days need to be fucking over. And even if I have to, twice arrested and done time in my life, if I have to run for president for this to be on the front fucking page, so fucking be it. How would that sound? Ryan Wall, 2024. How can we allow this, people? You have a 7% approval because they're acting like 7 and 10-year-olds. We got to do something about it, folks. I hope you start paying closer attention because the things that they are covering up now, oh my God. You're listening to the person who took Vladimir Putin off of Twitter because he made a comment, because he was told, posing as a female Hillary Clinton supporter, Harvard graduate named Jenna, for nearly 3 years, poking burners every chance he got, but never did he say a word that was helpful towards Hillary Clinton. That's how my autistic slight and perceptions and photographic memory and the way my brain categorizes priorities never lets those things go. And when I kept seeing it and seeing it, I realized who he was. I saw his code. I gave the code to Twitter to be able to understand who the pages were and why they were functioning, to get rid of most of them, but I asked them to please leave him. When he was one of 3 pages having a chat in either Dutch or Russian, so I translated, and they're having this good old time talking about how they're starting fights, and it's a burner, a Hillary supporter, and a race baiter. So I knew it was not one person. I knew it's a group of people. But that one person, the way the language was talked to them, with utter respect, well, it would take another whole year until I saw that same respect come from the pro-Russian tennis female star as she went to her bag in between sets, winning a set in one of the majors, I forget which one. But I'm purposely monitoring the match because I know that he could be that stupid. And I was already making comments to all of these pages that I knew they were Russians, but I was allowing it to go on, and so was Twitter, because I guess Twitter thought they had no real proof of who it was until that pro tennis player was calling that female page sir a dozen times. And I warned them, told them to monitor it, because that night at 3 a.m. Central Time, which is 12 when all the kids would get online out west, Greens and left libertarians, mostly anti-war people, vegetarian Antifa people. Antifa just transformed from owls because most of them are Jewish children, offspring from the people who were robbed of their family fortunes, that Putin was running these operations to protect the gain that he made, having stole 1/3 of Russia's federal economy. The reason Navalny was poisoned for exposing it, because he betted on us to fail, and he fucking won. And then Trump ended the sanctions that gave him access to the coup stopped by Obama allowing bank access in Ukraine, which is causing the fucking war. Because it's all about that perv's money sitting there frozen by victims. His fucking insurance. He knew if arrested or fucking killed that his money would sit there and cause a fucking war, while dictators and the fucking elites and assholes that fucking own this fucking money, and I'm trying to own them, each fucking one of you, because you all deserve to understand 9/11 victims were killed to remove the people who would never have fucking allowed this to happen to us. How the fuck can people not understand what's going on? Please open your fucking patriot eyes. I'm begging you. Open your patriot eyes so your core can understand what is happening to this country. And if you want a real fucking president, like this video.